Well, 7 cars out on track for this opening heat race of night 2 of the Spryers Meat Supply SSA Modified Sedan State title, the 42nd running of this event. And we're all set to go with 3 more qualifying heats tonight. Luke Fraser will start from pole position in car number 15. Luke was 9th after night number 1 in the Holden Commodore. Shane Dublin was 22nd overall after night 1. Paul Stevens in car 6 from Narrogin will start from P3. He was 17th after night 1. Alan Mortimer was 3rd overall. Jake Malcolm, the points leader, will go from P5. Josh Stewart, he was 19th overall. And Brandon Fraser, defending champion, was 9th after night 1. 10 laps ahead of him. The 10th and first heat race of night number 1 is underway. And Luke Fraser, as he'd expect in the Civil Hirings Falcon, got a great start from pole position as he leads down the back straight into turn number 3 for the first occasion. This heat race brought to you by Ian Gumpy & Co. Smash Repairs here in Collie. And Shane Dublin has got Paul Stevens and Jake Malcolm, the high points man, going to the outside of Stevens. He's trying to get at least into the top 2 to guarantee himself a front row start in car number 23. He now goes into 3rd place on lap number 2. And look at the state champion to the outside of Alan Mortimer, 3/4 track high. And Brandon Fraser goes into 5th place. At the same time, Jake Malcolm ducks down underneath as Shane Dublin goes up into 2nd place. Puts the tyre power Commodore from Pinjarra of Dublin back to 3rd. From Stevens as Mortimer coming back underneath of Brandon Fraser. Fraser in the backup car, you'd say. His dad Pete raced this car on night number 1. Brandon behind the wheel for night 2. 3/4 track high, hustling on the outside of Paul Stevens with 3 down and 7 remaining in heat 10 of this year's Modified Sedan State title here in Western Australia, brought to you by Ian Gumpy & Co. Smash Repairs. And all of a sudden, Jake Malcolm is reeling in the race leader. Here comes the number 23 Commodore. He's been the class of the field so far this weekend. He set the quick time of the race that last time around, a 19.962. As he looks to the inside of the 15 Falcon for Civil Hirings from the northern suburbs of Perth of Luke Fraser. Fraser bounces his way into turn number 1. Just had to get on the brake pedal to try and straighten the car up as he exits turn 2. And Brandon Fraser now goes to 3rd to the inside of Dublin. Malcolm's going to go 3/4 track high. We'll be halfway home this time around in heat 10 of the Modified Sedan State title. And Malcolm ranging up alongside of Luke Fraser. Nothing between them at the line. 0.031 of a second as Luke Fraser just tries to cut his old junior sedan sparring partner wide in turn number 1. Malcolm gets a beautiful run on the bottom side of the racetrack as they exit turn number 2. Malcolm to the inside of Fraser. Luke Fraser fighting back in car number 15. He'll be 4 to run in heat 10 this time around. This Luke Fraser from Jake Malcolm. Shane Dublin has fought back on Brandon Fraser to be in 3rd. Paul Stevens is 5th from Alan Mortimer. And the 19 Commodore from Esperance of Josh Stewart rounds him out. He's a long way back from the 6 in front of him. It's Malcolm again as a big lunge into turn number 3. Gets the Commodore very untidy and will lose a lot of ground to Luke Fraser in the process. 3 to run in heat 10. It's Luke Fraser now leading by 0.9 of a second back to the 23. Jake Malcolm doesn't have to do anything silly here. Jake Malcolm, a runner-up spot, will definitely get him on the front row at the very least in car number 23 for tonight's 40-lap A-main. Brandon Fraser from the back of the bus is now clearly in 3rd as the state champion. With 2 on the door and the WA 1 on the roof. Shane Dublin is 4th from Paul Stevens, who's supported by Edwards Holden over there in Narrogin. Alan Mortimer is 6th. He was 3rd after night number 1. Was Alan Mortimer. This will put him back a few rows with this result for tonight's A-main. And the 19 for Esperance Exhaust is Josh Stewart. The white flag from Ian Crow. 1 to run for Luke Fraser. Looking for his first heat race win of the weekend in car number 15. The Falcon comes out of turn number 2. Past the Griffin Cole sign and down the back straight for the final occasion. I think he's going to do enough to hold off Jake Malcolm over the 10 laps as the 15 Falcon from the northern suburbs of Perth comes out of turn number 4 and scores 36 points. To be happy with that, Luke Fraser, to get himself in the first few rows to tonight's main event. He holds off Jake Malcolm by 0.7 of a second. Brandon Fraser was 3rd from Shane Dublin, Paul Stevens, Alan Mortimer, and Josh Stewart rounds them out. But after a bit of an up and down night number 1 for the 15 Falcon of Luke Fraser, who has won 2 rounds of the WA Modified Sedan Series this year, which is supported by Blackman Fabrication this summer, he defeats Jake Malcolm by 0.9 of a second. His Dan's pretty happy with that result here in the main straight. The Fraser team happy with the 36 points. Results all clear there in heat 10. It was Luke Fraser from Jake Malcolm, Brandon Fraser, Shane Dublin, Paul Stevens, Alan Mortimer, and Josh Stewart. We had 7 starters and 7 cars completed the 10 laps of the Make Smoke History Collie Speedway. But Luke Fraser A very, very handy modified sedan driver and has really taken to this division like a duck to water.
Definitely made him work hard for that one, did Jake Malcolm, but finally Luke Fraser is a winner in this weekend's Spryers Meat Market SSA Modified Sedan State title. But man, you had to work hard for that one. That car looked super tight.
Yeah, it definitely was. Seen Jake pop his nose in a couple of times and thought just make it wide as I can, and yeah, it seemed to work. So happy to finally get some good points.
It's definitely a different track from last night. Probably last night that setup would have suited it, but tonight it looks a little bit heavier and a bit more harder on the foot.
Yeah, it definitely is. And myself, I left a little bit tighter, thinking it was going to be a bit drier, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you've got to win, that's the main thing, and it just levitates you a lot more forward up towards those top 5.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we needed, so happy as.
Well, there we go, the Civil High Ratings FGX car, number 15, Luke Fraser, finally a winner.